Here once again for another week of The Wrong Opinion, the podcast where we're going to be talking about mental health and why it's sometimes okay to have a wrong opinion. I'm Jeremy, and I'm here again with my co-hosts Maverick and Steven. So, how have you two been doing?
Been doing wonderfully, and honestly, this week felt like a fresh start compared to last week. And I really feel like this week we can offer new ways to give our viewers at home like a new way to de-stress and also find new ways to have a better positive experience.
I feel like my week was overall very refreshing and relaxing. There wasn't much to do. There wasn't like any new assignments. So it was
Yeah,
very
I
chill.
agree.
Yeah.
This week has been more relaxing for me, like a lot less stressful.
I think
I agree.
I think
There's
in
still,
Yeah.
like 2 weeks there's gonna be like it's gonna start ramping up again in like 2 weeks, but for
well,
for now I just
it's
enjoy
always like that. It's always a cycle.
it.
Yeah, pretty much. An endless cycle. So don't worry. As long as we get used to it, then everything should be a-okay.
Well,
And even though this week is more chill per se, we can definitely find new ways to de-stress and find maybe explore new ways in order to make us have a better or more healthy mindset.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
that's the point of stress management, isn't it? Because you'll always have stress. There'll always be stress there. So, you know.
I feel like you can never not have stress unless you're like living a very lavish and comfortable life.
Yeah, so you'll always need some type of stress management, no matter what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
what have you guys been doing this week? I guess.
Well, I have been, okay, so you know how like in the previous episode, Jeremy, you said you were like listening to not lo-fi, sorry, ASMR,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yep.
Well, I tried it out. I just searched up ASMR and I just clicked on the first option. Um, I have mixed feelings about it, I can't lie. I mean, it is like kind of relaxing to like feel the like tingles. But I feel like overall it's just not for me, so I kind of like shifted to just relaxing music and like relaxing nature sounds and nature's ambience along with like lo-fi. Because I said relaxing music, right? Lo-fi, one of them. So,
Wait, so you were able to feel the tingles?
yes. I don't
Ooh,
know how to feel about them though.
okay. Because I'm pretty sure like the first time I listened to ASMR, I didn't understand it. Right? I couldn't feel the tingles.
Huh. I see. I guess it's different for everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I first found tingles through like it wasn't ASMR. It was just like I don't know, a random video that wasn't ASMR.
Mm.
And I think people were talking in the comments, be like, "Oh, this is similar to ASMR." Okay, tingles are possible, I guess. That,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember what the video was. I truly do not remember. And I don't remember like what they did to make me like tingle. I don't know what triggered it, but it, I, I tingled. That's what I'm trying to say. I freaking tingled. But like yeah, it's not for me. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
now,
It's
now, now I'm wondering, like, do I try finding like getting tingles just because it's harder for me, right? Like, do
Mhm.
I go for it not because I enjoy it as much, but more so because it's hard for me to have it, right?
Huh. I
Right? The
mean,
other side is greener.
I think it's like ASMR is different for everybody. Like there's different tingles for different people, and I think some people are just I don't know, maybe it's like a psychological something about in psychology or like if you hear a certain sound that makes you like I don't know, it makes you react differently. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, it's different for everyone. So maybe it may be more difficult to trigger for some because not many things will trigger that like psychological response, that meridian response.
Yeah, for sure.
So Steven, what do you have to say about this? Because I noticed that you were pretty silent throughout our conversation.
Well, I was just observing and listening, and I definitely agree that different sounds or sound effects can stimulate like a certain emotion or feeling within us. And those tingles, I tried it before, and it was like this guy who was literally eating his microphone. And as hilarious as it was,
Yeah.
it's really funny because like he's not only he's not only that ASMR wasn't even like intentional, but it was still very funny. And that was ironically the part where I got tingles because I wasn't expecting it. And it's just like what Jeremy said. Sometimes you don't know when those tingles will come and it just occurs. For our viewers at home, the guy that I listened to by accident was a guy called Markiplier, and he ate his mic by accident.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that muffled sound of that crunching between the audio, like the reverbs and echoes bouncing back and forth, it definitely instilled chills. And just like those guys on YouTube comments, yeah, this certainly gave me chills. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people know about Markiplier, but it's still good that you like mentioned him. Otherwise,
Indeed.
no. Markiplier's great. He's great.
He is. I highly recommend him because he technically has like a bootleg of ASMR called The World's Quietest Let's Play, where he whispers into his microphone. And
Oh,
if you watch that,
yeah.
then it's him whispering in this really deep baritone voice, and it's just magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is whispering just ASMR?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess anything can be ASMR, but listening to relaxing sounds is definitely helpful, or maybe even relaxing music, like those. I don't listen to spiritual music, but there are some certain like music that's called herbal music, and it really helps.
By
What?
the way, Steven, what were your thoughts on the tingles?
Whoa! It actually felt like a physical phenomenon. I felt like it went down my spine like a shiver, and it was really interesting.
You think it was good or do you think it was bad?
Uh, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it was really loud because I was listening to him at a loud volume. But when it happened, I was like, "Whoa, that felt really crazy," because it didn't just feel like I was listening to something. I felt like it was actually like inside my head, like in the center of my brain. That like that feeling, and so it felt really unique. That's for sure, and I pretty liked it, which is why I explored different forms of music. In particular, I really like listening to electronic music. So I listened to one by Infected Mushroom. They're a music artist, and they really create this bizarre music that stimulates the brain, and it's called psytrance. I definitely recommend listeners to try it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's an entire genre, I think.
it
Yes,
is.
psytrance is a genre, and my favorite piece from it is called Guitar Mass, and it's, in my opinion, very very unique, but also has a good story behind it. It's not just random sound effects going back and forth. You can hear like a story and a beat, and even sand crunching to like create that effect.
I mean, I listened to like electronic music before. I was like a pretty major enthusiast. Right now, I don't listen to it as much, but it's still like pretty occasional.
Mhm.
So I know what you're talking about. Psytrance, I do get that like is it can I say chills, tingles? I do understand you when you say that. When I listen to Psytrance, I get the same feeling from most Psytrance theme songs. And people usually think that oh, electronic music is just a bunch of wop wobs and a bunch of like loud sounds. It's no different from rock music or metal music. No, not exactly. Like
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
easy to describe, but I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not it's not the same as just like metal and like rock music. Yes, it's loud, but it's like an entirely different genre. It's like it's an
Hmm.
entirely different style.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
there's like a yeah,
the people who say that don't really know what they're talking about.
yeah, exactly. That's what
Honestly,
I
They
was
don't
yeah.
gonna
know.
say.
Like I do understand where they're coming from though. Like some songs that I've heard are just like play just loud, and it's just like it just sounds like cymbals being hit over and over and over. I think that's music, and
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's music. Uh,
Hmm.
what does it tell us? Like, bro, I feel like music should have like some sort of like story behind it, like Infected Mushrooms Guitar Mass. Um,
Yeah,
not just like a bunch of loud sounds for the sake of like loud sounds in EDM. You know what I mean?
exactly. Like,
Well,
uh, yeah.
well, I'll be honest. I never realized Guitar Mass had a story behind it.
You don't hear a story, but you hear a consistent melody. Like I can actually follow along like a certain pacing, and that's
And
what I
the
think the
rhythm's like
story
packed.
means. Yeah, yeah, like what Matt said. Like there's always like a story within that song. Not an actual literal story where you can feel something happening, but more so like you can feel the rhythm and easily keep along rather
Mm.
than just listening to a bunch of generic beats and synthesized waves.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I don't quite understand. What's the difference between have like a song that has a story and a song that doesn't have a story?
Good question. I think ultimately each song has a story. It's just that some people can follow along to one story better. Like I tried listening to all kinds of EDM, such as Big Room and also
Right.
Psytrance, and like all of them are really good, but I really like only some types. Like for example, Infected Mushroom's one hit wonder, in my opinion, is Guitar Mask, and all of their other songs are pretty good, but those ones just feel like a bunch of patterns and beats to me rather than a really cool and unique fresh experience. In fact, I find it tragic
Yeah.
that there's nothing that can replicate my experience with Guitar Mask. That's the equivalent of ASMR to me.
Huh. Interesting. I wasn't
Mhm.
expecting that last part, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think, well, I was just trying to connect it back to full circle.
Yeah,
Uh,
fair enough.
yeah, there's definitely some songs that are excellent. And of course, some songs, at the end of the day, we have to conclude what is truly like ASMR that gives us tingles, or if it's just a song that we really love to bop to and also dance to the beat. I think those are two different categories.
Right. So about
Because
like music and EDM and like ASMR and just audio stuff. Have you guys been doing doing stuff in relation to audio? Like to just relax, Steve and Jeremy? Like I know last week we talked about like audio a bunch and this week we're talking about it again. But I assume there's like something different?
I mean, yeah, you were constantly listening to music, right? Like,
Uh, yeah.
so it's always nice to listen to music. But I I still want to like clarify about this story portion, right? Like, the story isn't necessarily lyrics, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
It's just like a pattern of beats. It's up to the listener's interpretation really. Because I remember doing a project in seventh grade where we had to choose like five different songs without lyrics and then interpret their meaning. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's literally just based on patterns and beats, and it's fully up to your imagination. It's like literary analysis.
Just shapes and beats, or rhythms and beats. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, technically.
hmm Yeah.
I
So
Interesting.
feel it sounds like there's like no clear line between with story and without story for a song.
yeah, exactly. That's why I said, like, I think every single song has a story in it, but there's just some songs that you can easily click with, or they have a much more unique story to it. Like, granted, all kinds of electronic music have some form of like melody you can follow along or transition, but
Right.
like the bass drop or the build up, all of those things actually contribute to how much a person or a specific listener enjoys that kind of music.
Right. I do agree with what you said.
So Maverick, have you experienced that personally?
Of like a story and a song without lyrics.
Like more of like you can listen to a song, right, and you can tell if it has a story or the pattern that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if it doesn't have that type
Yeah.
of pattern.
Yeah. I can
You're
I
no
can tell if there's
steam.
like a
Like,
repeating pattern in it or like a variation of that pattern.
mhm.
Granted, I do have like an entire like electronic playlist on my phone here. So I've listened to these songs like hundreds of times over probably. So I could like easily find their pattern. Like when the beat first starts, I'm like, oh, it's this song. It's a song name by a song artist. So yeah.
So essentially, right, you feel like this. You could hear this pattern, right, and you enjoy it. And all songs have this their own patterns and their own stories. But you essentially feel more strongly to some stories,
Mhm.
and you feel like some stories are better told than others.
Yes, execution really matters here.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Because
How about you? Yeah.
I don't think I've really thought about it that way, right? Like there are songs where, to me, right, it's just, oh, it sounds good, right? This is like, oh, this beat, this pattern, yeah, it sounds good. But I never thought about it story wise or anything like that. it's kind of like a new perspective for me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What
indeed. Like, yeah.
one that I don't fully understand, but like I kind of understand it from what you're saying.
Wait, what do you
So
mean?
I kind of understand what you say by a story, but at the same time, like it's not
Maybe,
clear.
maybe it's not story. Maybe it's just pattern that
Yeah.
makes that makes a type of like that 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 conjures a type of interpretation of the song.
Mm.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess
have you guys tried listening to Guitar Mask?
I've
Yeah,
listened to
I
it
think
many times. Yeah.
yeah, we've all listened to it. I feel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really unique rhythm beats, unique patterning. Yeah, it's all good. So ultimately, I think like each song has their own way of determining whether or not it's like good sounding or not. And tying back to like Maverick's form of relaxation or his way of improving his mental health, he loves to listen to relaxing sounds. And he went outside of his box or boundary in order to explore that ASMR feel. And in turn, we also offered our ways of like extra audio stimulus from like certain types of music. And furthermore, like we discussed with like Jeremy and I, we talked about how like the stories of the music come together, and Maverick further supported my claim of how like some types of music are like really unique and have special patterns.
So
Yeah.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can go. You can go.
So, Stephen, I heard that you've been watching nature documentaries.
Yeah, I have, and that's another form of relaxing sounds that we can resonate to. So as we connect to like different forms of sounds, I can truly understand why like certain things provide such relaxation and like audio stimulus to us. And so I think overall, when I watch nature documentaries, I really love the narrator, David Attenborough, and he has narrated like so many forms of like nature documentaries, like from the oceans to the mountains to the forests. He always narrates these specific things, and there's always like a story lying behind it. And my favorite adventures lie behind the oceans because my love for marine life is the absolute maximum. So that's why I really enjoy watching his videos.
Oh, okay. So, what do you think is your favorite type?
Oh, well, definitely my favorite type is The Hunt, and it's a series where it's like a predator trying to catch a prey. And I find that really exciting because you can see like a pattern. Like it's almost like a dance between predator and prey. Like the predator moves in, the prey moves out. The prey either defends itself or the prey withdraws. Like it's a very delicate balance between like the laws of nature. And when you hear the rustle of the leaves from like a fox trying to catch a rabbit or the water splashing from a shark trying to eat a seal, like it really adds that sense of realism towards it rather than just looking at a silent video with captions.
The
Hmm.
prey would like to argue that they are not just dancing and they're trying to live.
Yeah, maybe
Survival.
they're just trying to live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe. Yeah, no, for real. Maybe they're just trying to live, and the purity behind it is beautiful. Like, nature can generate a multitude of positive emotions, such as calmness, joy, creativity, and it can also facilitate concentration because we see the predator, like, slowly closing in on its prey. And even though there are some squeamish people that can't stand, like, for example, a rabbit getting eviscerated by an eagle, I find that really fascinating to look at because, in turn, that eagle is
You see
also
me
trying to
just like
survive.
people getting mauled. I mean, what?
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Not
Yeah, yeah.
mutilated or
Aliens.
destroyed or none of that. Like
Um,
here, for
so,
example, yeah.
so I was just about to ask, like, do you just like looking at these types of like predator prey relationships, or do you just like watching watching like a documentary on like a specific type of animal?
I love watching all. Like honestly, my
Oh,
favorite is the hunt, but I really enjoy looking at all types of nature. Like I've seen like a conservation video. I know it's really sad. It almost brought me to tears because the final part of the video, honestly, was like
Yeah.
playing really sad violin with a mother humpback
Bruh.
whale and its baby. And then
Ah,
it just and before that it showed like the devastation of whaling, and because whales are my favorite animals, I really can't
yeah.
stand looking at like people eating whales,
Mhm.
particularly in certain cultures.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I really that really hit me home, and I found that really fascinating. Like it really relaxed me because I felt
I
like
mean,
on my
I've seen a meme on the internet that's just like it's just I think it's like a predator and a prey. I think it's like a lion and a zebra. They're literally just like filming and acting the things we see on the documentaries. Like the lion's pretending to eat the zebra's pretending to act dead. And then
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
the zebra's a
oh
paid
cut.
actor.
yeah,
Yeah,
Zebra's a paid actor, exactly.
and then someone in the filming crew is like just like cut, and then the lion's just like, "Hey zebra, you want to get a coffee later?" I think it's something like that. And I just found it like
Yeah,
I found it as like a pretty funny twist on like the whole paid actors meme.
yeah. There are some definitely different ways of interpreting it. Like for example, the zebra as a paid actor is hilarious, really funny, and I've seen even people say it for other crazy events. Like for example, there's like a video I watched. It was like a cheetah getting killed by a crocodile. It was a juvenile cheetah,
Yeah,
and it was drinking water. And then
yeah.
people in the comments were like, "Don't worry." After this, they just went to the bar and just had a drink and then just
Oh
sorted
my
things out. Like, oh my god! But
bro.
still, it's really funny to look at that because I think it's just a
It's a
humans are
funny
really lucky.
interpretation in the grim world that we live in, I guess,
Yeah,
in the cruel jaws of nature.
true. I
Yeah.
think maybe we didn't take things for maybe oh sorry, maybe we took things for granted. Like, imagine every time we open the fridge to get a bottle of water or get some food, we have like a chance to die somehow. Like that's literally how
That's
animals fight in that world.
that's why like whenever I open the fridge, I will open it from the opposite side. I wouldn't like face the fridge. I would just like you know what I mean, right? Like you know how
Yeah, yeah,
like
I get that.
when it opens up, for example, it opens up towards the left side. I would then stand on the left side and go behind the door in case there's something in the fridge, if that is the
In
case.
case there's a crocodile in the fridge.
Beat it to
Yeah,
death.
like
No, I'm kidding. Peter, don't come after me, please.
just get some centipede killer and it'll be done. Alrighty, well, that's my
Anyways,
form of relaxation, and I genuinely enjoyed like listening to like the sounds of nature. And before I conclude my part of relaxation, I just want to say like one sound I really like to listen to, and I highly recommend listeners to look at is whale song, like the whales singing
Oh,
underwater.
yeah.
Like yeah, that's a real form of song, and that's like some of them are even on Spotify. Like it's crazy, but it's a form of relaxation. And
We need to get
I
Dory to translate all the lyrics.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, imagine they're just rapping bad words, right?
Oh my
Like we
god,
wouldn't know.
just spitting fire.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because they're in water.
Hmm?
No, I just made a stupid joke. I said, yeah, maybe they're just spitting fire, which is ironic considering they're in water.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I just want to ask you guys, what's your favorite animal, and like, what do you like about their sound? And then we can transition to how Jeremy has his form of relaxation.
Yeah, maybe like make it quick. I feel like we've been taking quite long on our parts.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite animal would probably be a chinchilla. Chinchilla
All
they're
right,
just that's it. They're just cute.
nice. Okay, how about you, Jeremy?
uh, I mean, okay, I wouldn't say favorite, but like just an interesting animal would be
Hmm.
the foos, which is just cool Madagascar animal,
The what?
apex predator of Madagascar.
Which is
Oh, I see. Well, that's really interesting. Wow, we've been talking for a while now. We should take a break. But before we do that, we should ask Jeremy how he does it. Maybe we should take a break afterwards. Jeremy, what's your main form of relaxation?
Oh, what a coincidence, but not really. Uh, Basically, I want to talk about taking breaks and kind of not working for too long and kind of stopping yourself, and I
You know?
guess, huh?
Wait.
Yeah, what's wrong? Nothing wrong, right?
Sorry, I thought Maverick said something. Anyways, yeah,
Oh, I think I cut
look,
out for a second there again.
that's weird. Anyways, I was talking about how it's kind of important to be taking breaks, especially when you're kind of working on something for a long period of time. You don't want to be working on something for too long. You probably should, like, get up, walk around, drink some water. What do you
Hmm.
guys normally do when you're taking a break?
I usually sit down, close my eyes, and listen to all kinds of music. Since I like all kinds of music, I'm okay with like whether it be classical or relaxing forms. I also like to play video games because usually my rounds only last like a minute or so, and so I can easily just finish.
Yeah, I agree with Steven. I pretty much do the same. I just sit down, close my eyes, relax, and enjoy some relaxing music for a bit. Maybe like check in on some like video games that I play. Maybe like log on to Minecraft and play for like 10, 20 minutes ish. So that's just a break, gets my mind off things, escapism, like we talked in I think episode 1. So
Yeah,
You guys ever feel like you just gotta like stand up, like stretch a bit, and just walk around?
yeah, I
yes,
do.
it's good for you to
Uh,
do that. You
yeah,
can't just
tech.
like slouching on your chair all day. It's not good for you, man.
Yeah, technically, walking is another form of a break, and I love taking walks. So that's a good prompt that you provided, Jeremy. Like, that's definitely a good way to take a break or de stress.
Yeah. Also, do you guys ever just treat like taking a shower as a break?
Yeah, I do. I love showering, and even though, like, obviously we can't shower for too long, but when I'm in it, I can, have shower thoughts. Like, really, like, just think how my day's been going, what I need to do, and how I can relax. And all those thoughts are very peaceful. Like, it just makes me feel at ease.
Yeah, for me, right? Like, you talk about the shower thoughts thing. I try to like make it as useful as possible, right? So, like, I'd be doing work or something, and then when I get stuck, I'd go and take a shower and see if I can get like a shower thought and help me move forward with what I want to do.
Yeah, I understand. And overall, I find that there are many different ways to take breaks. Like even taking stretches. Like I love, well, or at least I used to stretch a lot. And even though I still stretch like once in a few weeks, well, I mean, once in a few days, that definitely still gives me a form of relaxation. Like as the muscle contracts and the muscle expands, I can really feel my triceps and biceps really expanding and relaxing in an antagonistic fashion. So it's definitely very, very helpful.
Mm, yeah, I really like taking those breaks. I mean, I say I like taking them, but at the same time, I feel like I don't take enough of them, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
when you're working, right, you can kind of get into the zone,
Mhm.
and like once you're just working like that, right, it's you forget to take breaks, and then when you do take a break, right, it kind of sometimes makes it harder for you to go back into the zone. But taking breaks are important. Like, there's a limit to how long you can focus or like how productive you can be while you're kind of forcing yourself to work. But at the same time, you don't want to break your focus. It's kind of like a weird thing to balance.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely agree. Like, perhaps the ultimate form of a break is, just sleep. Like, beautiful, unrivaled sleep.
Oh, that's true. Did you ever take naps?
Hmm. I think I used to, but not anymore. Because if I like take naps, I might not be able to rest at night. But I definitely tried Da Vinci sleeping before. And to viewers at home who don't know what it is, it's like taking periodic naps at a time instead of like sleeping consistently throughout one day. You can't really do that at school, obviously. But if you have a future career where you can just work at home, then like Da Vinci naps are definitely suitable.
So it's just naps that just you do frequently.
Yeah, I think it's like very periodic. I think Da Vinci sleeps are Well, they're controversial, but honestly, I think it's a new way to like explore and think how to sleep. Like Da Vinci sleeping, you sleep about 1 hour, uh, and divide it evenly within 24 hours. I don't know how that works, but I
Oh,
think
wow.
yeah, and they somehow regenerate really, really quickly. Uh, yeah, but as you know, as humans, we are not supposed to naturally sleep like that. So obviously, be sure to get some rest on time. But there are some other ones that are certainly unique for sure. It's definitely a very thought provoking and intriguing subject.
Yeah, I personally do take naps. Just
Oh, that's good.
after school, just fall asleep, wake up, and then get work done.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Better than me, just come back home, waste some time, procrastinate, then at night start panicking, and then within the last hour before midnight, just get to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that as well. Procrastination. It sucks.
Hmm. But overall, I think it's very interesting. And so I think like whether it be listening to relaxing sounds, like exploring new boundaries, or looking at nature documentaries, or taking breaks and naps, I think these are all definitely really good ideas to improve our mental health. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Like these are all things that I okay, I'd say I experienced most of them. Nature documentaries, less so. I've watched quite a few of them when I was younger, but like now, so not as much. I also kind
Hmm.
of feel like I don't have as much time for them. But the others, I can definitely agree more so on.
Yeah, definitely. And ultimately, perhaps not surprisingly, if we continue to talk about these ideas, the wrong opinion will definitely offer more advice so that we can try to improve our mental health. So, thanks for having a discussion with me, Jeremy and Maverick. I really appreciated it. And we can definitely chat next podcast.
Yeah, we'll definitely share more of our experiences.
Yep. And to our viewers at home, take care and have a good time.